Okay, can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I have changed the microphone, so I want to make sure that that is working right now. Let me know if you can hear me now. No. Paul says no. Huh. Murad says yes. Okay, so Paul, you need to use Murad's computer because it's working. Murad can hear me. Okay, cool. All right. So anyhow, I want to get back to my story because I was trying to teach you guys something about marketing, and apparently I had no sound. And anybody else in here too, put in there if you can hear me now. I know Murad says he can hear me. If he can hear me, I would think everybody can hear me. But I wanted to talk about marketing and helping you guys out today. And specifically, I wanted to talk about how we get more sales, how you can actually mop up more money. Okay. And that's what I was trying to tell you about. And I guess I didn't have sound. I don't know why. But anyhow, let me explain something to you. Let's say I'm selling a course and I want to make more money on this course. And I don't want to charge more money for it. I just want to get more sales. Okay. So let's say this course is a Facebook ads course. We use that because I do have a Facebook ads course. And let's say that I'm going to do a webinar to sell it. So I'm going to maybe do a 30 or 45-minute webinar. At the end of the webinar, I'm going to sell a course for $997. Now, here's the truth about anything that you sell. A portion of the people won't buy. Okay? You're not going to have 100%. That's never going to happen. So what we want to do is we want to maximize our sales. And how are we going to do that? Well, because what we're going to do is we're going to ask more than once. Now you say, well, yeah, you asked more than once in the webinar. No, there's more to it than that. If I do a webinar and some people don't buy, it could be because they got interrupted. It could be because they got a phone call. Somebody walked in the room. One of their kids got hurt. Whatever. Somebody came to the door and they got interrupted and they couldn't buy. So I want to give them another opportunity to buy by doing an email sequence. Now, what I do, excuse me, is I do an email sequence and I try to find 3 or 4 objections that somebody may have had for not buying, and I cover those objections in the series of 3 or 4 videos in the hopes that they're going to watch one of these videos and it's going to turn them on to buy. So the first video may be about money, and the first video may say, hey, X person, you didn't buy. I know you attended my webinar the other day, and maybe it's because of money. And if that's the case, I don't want that to stop you. So I'm going to offer you a payment plan. So maybe I reduce the payments on it. Maybe I give them a discount code or something on it. So that's the first video. If they don't buy after that video, I'm going to send another video. So let's say another one of the objections that I think they may have had is it may have seemed too complicated. They may have felt like they couldn't do it. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video on how simple the course actually is and how anybody can use it. And I may walk them through the course and show them how simple it is. And that's going to cover some of those objections. And if they don't buy after that, I may send them another video after that. And it could be, maybe you felt like you didn't have time to do this course. And then I may want to do a video and show them how easy it is to go through the course and how it doesn't take that much time. And in doing so, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit like 3 or 4 of these objections that people may have. And in doing so, I pick up more sales. I'm mopping up more sales. I mean, it's really that simple. You've seen this before. Matter of fact, you could try this too when you're shopping online. Go to a site, find a product, put it in your cart like you're going to buy it, and then leave the site. Make sure they've got your email, obviously, because you're opting in. And you're going to see that they're going to send you discount codes. They're going to send you better offers than what was originally on that particular product. In doing so, you could get a better deal. But what they're doing is they're doing the same principle, and we do it too. You're kind of mopping up those people who didn't act at that time. They didn't take advantage of the offer at that time for whatever reason. You go back and you target those people again. So I want you guys to understand, and feel free to put any comments in the chat section there if you have a question about this. But I want you guys to understand, when you're marketing online, it's not a one and done deal. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. As a matter of fact, if you're selling in e-commerce, only about 2 to 3% of the people will ever buy when they come to the page. Only about 2 or 3%. So it's not much. Sometimes worse than that. And another interesting statistic also is that 85% of the people that come to your sales page will never even scroll. They won't scroll. So if you don't have an offer in that top section there where they can click and do something, you're going to miss out on 85% of your business. And I just wanted to share that with you today because I think a lot of people will try to sell a product and they put it out there and they ask people one time, hey, buy my product, and they don't buy it and they go, oh, that didn't work. It's not the case. You just didn't ask enough. You know, the drink here. Oh, a little splash. It's a matter of you guys really going after that sale over and over again and asking for that sale via emails, or when they come to your homepage on your website, that you've got some kind of opt-in where they can get a discount code or they can download some type of free PDF. Because what's going to happen is if you can build that email list, those people that come to your page and didn't buy anything, you can start emailing those people. You can start doing follow-up sequences for those people. You can start learning why they're not buying. Maybe you're going to send out surveys to these people, but it's not a one and done deal. You've got to understand that. And if you're doing a one and done deal, then it's going to be very difficult. Now, what a lot of people mess up also is they go, well, gosh, I'm sending out all these emails. This is going to wear me out. You have to have an automated system to do this. Okay. It has to, like, if somebody attends one of my webinars, they get tagged that they attended that particular webinar. And when they buy, they get tagged that they bought. So what I do is I set up an email sequence in Kartra, which I'll have a link in the description when this video is over with. But I send an email to these people via an automated system. So the automated system is going to be like this. Send emails to people who attended this webinar, but who do not have tag purchased purchased the product, whatever the product was on the webinar. Let's say it was Facebook ads or something like that. That way I can target those people who I know attended but did not buy. And then the next day, another email is going to go out and it's going to say the same thing. Send this email to the people who have a tag that says they attended webinar, but do not have a tag that they purchased this course. And I can keep doing it. That way I don't send out the email to people who did buy, because maybe that first email or that first video or second video, somebody did buy. I don't want to send them another email that says, hey, you didn't buy. Here's a better deal. I don't want to do that. So it's super important that you guys have an automated system like that. Now, I have that automated for everything. Okay, I have that automated for my survival food. I have it for all my courses. I have it for everything that I'm trying to sell. And my wife has the same thing on hers, on her dog training stuff. She has stuff out there that will automate these emails that go out to people, and if they don't buy, then they're going to send out another email, another email. And I know when I first started, I was like, gosh, I don't want to email these people because they're going to unsubscribe and I won't have a list. But the thing is, if you don't email them, there's no point in having a list. There's just no point. And the fact is, some people will unsubscribe, but you won't ever sell anything unless you actually send out some emails and ask for their money. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people say, well, people are going to think I'm trying to sell them something. They know you're trying to sell them something. I mean, that's your job. If you have a good product and you think it's going to improve somebody's life in some form or fashion, maybe they'll make more money, or maybe they'll lose weight, maybe they'll get in shape, maybe they'll learn how to train their dog. If you've got a product that can improve their life, why wouldn't you want to offer it to them? Matter of fact, it's your obligation, if you have something good, to share it with people, and you deserve to get paid for it. So you got to get over those obstacles too. I think a lot of people have that obstacle in their head that they don't deserve to ask for a sale, or they shouldn't be making money on people. Yes, you should. The whole world is making money on everybody else. I mean, that's what makes the world go round. Paul says, great tip for offers, especially for buying on getting codes. Do you have a preferred webinar software? Does Kartra do that for webinar and email sequence? Yes, I do have preferred software. As a matter of fact, the software I use for webinars is written by the same people that wrote the software for my email sequences, and that is Genesis Digital. Genesis Digital is EverWebinar and Webinar Jam. Okay, so EverWebinar is an evergreen webinar, and what that means is I do a webinar one time, and then we may run some ads and people can sign up to go to the webinar, but they're going to see a replay of one I've already done. Okay, so that's called an EverWebinar. Webinar Jam is the other half of that, where I'm actually going to be doing a live webinar, and they can sign up to go to that live webinar. Then I use Kartra. And Kartra, I'll have a link in the description below here once we're done. But Kartra is my email sequence, my email provider, my sales page builder, my videos, my courses, all that is built in Kartra, and those two talk to each other. So if I have a webinar and I have a sign up page for it, I can take that code and put it into Kartra, and it will put it on that page for me, because those two talk to each other. It's basically the same company that owns both of these. So that's a pretty cool thing, and I do recommend that Webinar Jam, EverWebinar, and Kartra. And those are 3 different things too. They're not just one. And yes, you have to pay for all 3 of those. However, they make me a lot of money, so I don't mind that. It doesn't matter to me, as long as it's making me money. This darn watch, this thing is irritating me. I got this thing for Christmas, and it like sends me notifications. I've got most of them turned off, so every now and then I'll feel a buzz. I'm like, what is that? What's Paul say here? How many emails in your preferred sequence? It depends on what it is. I would generally say after something doesn't occur that I want to occur. In other words, let's say I do a webinar and people don't buy on that webinar. I usually will have a 3 or 4 day sequence of emails that go out. Generally what I do is one day after, I'll send an email, maybe it'll have a video and give them some reasons to buy, and then day 2 it'll have another video and some reasons to buy, and then day 3 I'm going to email them in the morning, I'm going to email them in the afternoon, and then late at night. So I'll probably send them 3 emails on that last day and let them know this thing's ending, it's going to be over with. And that's another important thing, is you have to have urgency, guys. When you're sending out these emails, you can't just say, hey, get this discount. You got to say, get this discount because it's going to end in 72 hours. You've got 72 hours. And then the next day it's going to say, get this discount, or, get this, I don't know, special offer, whatever you're going to give them. I'm going to give them a bonus or something. And that's another thing. Give them another reason to buy. You got to either give them a better price. You got to give them a bonus. You got to give them a better deal, something. It can't just be, here's the same price I told you before. And then I'm going to say it's 48 hours. And then the last day I'm going to go, hey, you got 12 hours, you got 6 hours, you got 1 hour. And you got to build that urgency. And what you'll find is that on day 3, when you're sending out the 12 hour, 6 hour, 3 hour, or 1 hour, that you're going to have most of your sales on that day, because now there's an urgency to it. Now they know it's going to expire, and you really have to expire that offer too. You can't have them go there 4 weeks later and it's the same thing. It's got to be gone. And the way that operates is within Kartra, you can set a timer. I can set, let's say, a 72-hour timer. And when somebody comes to this page, it knows their IP address. So since it knows their IP address, it's going to start the timer. And it knows that IP address so that on day 2 and day 3, it's going to, I can put a timer at the top and it'll show them how many hours they got left. And when it expires, what I do is I redirect that page to, this offer has expired. And it's real, okay? And you can't fake that stuff. You gotta make sure it's real. Do you ever follow up with notification of new webinar for same product? Generally, no. I guess you could. I mean, I don't think it would hurt. But I have so many other products that, I may offer them something else instead. I do redo webinars quite often. Right now, I'm redoing one I have for the eBusiness Toolbox. eBusiness Toolbox is a really cool deal. eBusiness Toolbox, and if you're interested in that, let me know, and I'll hook you up with that webinar once that's done. But basically, what that does is give you access to a lot of my different courses, all for one really low price. But I'm redoing that one right now. I've rewritten that webinar 4 times. And it's made sales. It's done okay, but I want it to do better. Okay, and quite honestly, when you're doing webinars, guys, and it's a real art. And I told you guys the other day about Jason Fladlin's book, One to Many. I think it's a really good book. But when you're doing these webinars, it's a living thing. It's something that you got to constantly improve, and you got to constantly add to. You got to constantly tweak. Within Kartra. And within EverWebinar, I can look in there and I can see where people dropped off. So let's say I've got an offer that's at 50 minutes and I have people dropping off at 42. Well, that's a problem, right? Because they never saw the offer. So it's really important that they see the offer, and the only way you know that is to use a software like, EverWebinar, something like that. And you can do the same thing inside of Kartra. You can see when somebody drops off on a video there. Love the urgency tip. Your buddy Matt B does that timer all the time. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, these things are not things I invented. These are things that's been out there. A lot of people do these things. But if you're new to this and you haven't done this, this is the stuff that trips you up. Because since you're not doing it, you're not going to get the results on your sales that you want, and you're going to think, well, this doesn't work. It does work, but you got to add all these other layers to it. I mean, these other layers are so very important. Now, Once you've got a webinar tweaked and it's doing well, we add what's called a self-liquidating offer. Okay, a self-liquidating offer. So what's a self-liquidating offer? A self-liquidating offer is something that you offer somebody after they sign up for a webinar. Okay, like immediately after it goes to the thank you page, and you offer them something for a value of money. Okay, so it could be something as simple as 10 steps to get your business off the ground, and I sell it for $7 or $8. But I'm going to have the video to sell that on the page where they just signed up. So they sign up for my webinar, and then it's going to go to a page, and I'm going to go, hey, thanks for signing up for the webinar. I can't wait to see you there. It's going to be really exciting. While I got you here, I do want to give you an extra offer. It's something I'm doing for new signups for my webinar, and you can get this report for $8 or $10 or whatever it is. Now, the purpose of that is so that maybe it costs me $8 or $7, to get that lead. This is called a self-liquidating offer. Now I'm offering something to try to get some of that money back. Okay. The other thing it does, which is kind of cool, is that if they've already given you some money prior to the webinar, they're going to be more likely to actually buy your product in the webinar, right? So that's kind of a cool thing. So I use that self-liquidating offer. Never use a self-liquidating offer until the webinar is proven. Okay, because you want to make sure you get enough traffic going through the webinar, because if you don't, some of the people may get turned off by that offer. They may not go to the webinar, and you may not make any sales, and it wasn't the webinar's fault, it was the self-liquidating offer fault. So you want to get the webinar working first, make some money on the webinar, and then add that self-liquidating offer on the thank you page where they signed up for the webinar. And I know that's a little complicated, but it works really well. What is the top course for online advertising in the internet? Well, Murad, there's a lot out there, and it depends on where you want to advertise. There's not one course for all advertising on the internet, because it's all different. I think I have the best course for Facebook ads. It's called Facebook Ads University, and there's a link going to be in the description here when this video is done. But there's other good ones out there. There's not that many really good YouTube ones. I like Ad Outreach. Ad Outreach, you have to join and go through all their training. It's $10,000 for that though, and I bought that. That was a really good training. I really enjoyed it, and we put together some good ads and made some money on that. But there isn't one that is for all kinds of advertising. Understand, if you buy a course for advertising on the internet, make sure it's specific to whatever platform it is, because you got Instagram, you got LinkedIn, you got Facebook, you got YouTube, you got Google Ads. You got so many different ones out there, and it really needs to be specific to it. And I'll tell you, it's really hard to find a great course on advertising on the internet. And the reason it's hard is because if you're really good at it and you're making money on ads, you don't want to do a course. It's just too much work. I did a course on Facebook ads, and matter of fact, it comes with 3 different pieces of software. It's a great course, but I took a lot of time out to do that, and I don't know if I would do that again, because it's a lot of work, and it changes. That's the other problem you run into if you're doing excuse me, a course on a particular platform. The platforms constantly change, and you'll have to go in there and constantly change your slides or your training in your course, and a lot of people don't want to do that, okay, because that's a lot of work. So that's my best answer on that. There is no one particular one. You guys are having some good questions today, though. I really appreciate that. Stick your question in there. I'm probably going to jump out of here in a couple minutes because I got to get on with my day. I promised you guys that I would be here every single day throughout the end of the month, so I'm going to do my best to stick to that. I got my dog barking in the background. She hears something at the door. Is native ads can make crazy money? Yeah, I mean, native ads, you usually are going to have to get with some type of ad network so that they can put them on all the different places they need to be on. But that's a whole nother animal. That's a whole nother type of advertising. I'm not a native ad person. I don't teach it. So I never teach things that I don't do and make money on. I'll only teach things that I do and I make money on. So native ads, yeah, they're great if you know how to do them. It's not my thing. My thing now is YouTube ads. I do a lot of YouTube ads now. Facebook ads. My wife runs a lot of Facebook ads. I have seen, due to political things, a big shift away from Facebook. As a matter of fact, I saw their stock dropping. People don't like to be censored, and I see Facebook doing that. I see Twitter doing that. And let me give you my blurb on censoring. I don't think it should be done ever. Even if it's hate speech, I don't think you should censor it, because the problem with censoring people is that who makes that decision? It's not going to be you, okay? It's going to be the owner of that platform. It's going to be the government. And, who decides if it's hate speech or not? Who decides if it's, offensive or not? You got a government person doing it. You've got a owner of a business doing it. So I think that, even if I disagree with somebody, and I disagree with a lot of thoughts that are out there, but I think they should have a right to put their thought out there, because it also helps identify those people. Okay, we know who those people are, because if you don't let people speak, if you don't let people write things, what happens is they kind of go underground, and you don't know what's going on, and you don't know what they're planning. At least if you're allowing them to get their views out, you can have a discourse with them, you can argue with them, and you'll also know who they are and why they're doing it. So I just don't believe in the censorship thing. I really don't. So I think that's where a lot of these social platforms are going to have some issues. I know they took, I think, Parler off the other day, and I've never been on Parler. I don't know anything about it. But I do know that when you start censoring people, they're going to find another way to get their message out, and it's going to be more sinister. I would rather know who they are, where they are, what they're thinking, even if I disagree. Okay, it's not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing with the stuff. It's a matter of letting people voice their opinion, okay, because they have a right to do that. At least so far in America, they have a right to do that. So I just don't, I hate the censorship thing, and I think these companies that are starting to do this are going to see a huge backlash. The other day, and I wanted to look here, I always have my stocks up here because I do have stock in Facebook, but they're dropping. Yeah, they're down to 251, and I think they were close. Let's see what Facebook stock was, and where they are now. Facebook stock. We'll look year to date. Yeah, they're way down. They were at like 272, and they're 251 now. So it's like those could be some bad decisions, for those people. It just could be. Overall they're up. Since I bought them, obviously I bought them at $27, like in 2013, I think, something like that. They're 251 now, which is fine. But the thing is, and I don't want to get on a tangent on censorship because I'll probably end up getting censored on this video, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Guys, do you have any other questions in there? If so, pop them in that chat real quick, because I'm getting ready to get out of here. And so today is a day where I'm going to be working on my webinar. And I've been working on that webinar. And keep in mind, I've already redone it 4 times. This is my 5th time to redo it. But I'm going to be working on that webinar today. Hopefully I could get it finished. I don't know if I can. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it finished. I'll be able to get the outline of it done. But actually, recording and putting all the stuff in there I need to do, that's going to take probably another day or 2. Not to mention, I've still got another, I think, 9 videos I got to edit from Thursday, because I did 14 videos on Thursday. And I got to get, and when I say edit, I'm just doing rough edits, and then I got to get them over to my video editor, and he'll actually, put words in there and zoom in, zoom out, effects, subscribe buttons, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe buttons, I totally forgot. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there. If it's red, you need to click it and turn it gray. If it's red, that's a big warning to you that you haven't done it yet. So you need to do that. You also need to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications. Those notifications are so important, because that's what's going to tell you when I go live, when I post a new video. You got to have your notifications in, guys. Last thing I will tell you, do you invest in Bitcoin? Heck no, I don't invest in Bitcoin. Not that it may not be a great thing, Morad, but it scares the crap out of me. I mean, where is it? Where is Bitcoin? I don't see it anywhere. I don't know where Bitcoin is. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around the fact that some guy came up with some codes and we're buying codes. I just, I sat at a mastermind in Bangkok with some real experts late one night at a hotel, and they were all talking about Bitcoin. And when I walked away from that table, I had no more idea about Bitcoin than when I sat down. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And if I don't understand it, then I don't get it. I don't invest in it. I just don't do it. Not my thing. So no, I'm not a Bitcoin person. Any more questions, guys? You can go ahead and stick them in there. I do want to say, make sure you get some exercise. Exercise, seriously. It's the one thing that I see a lot of people online miss. And they're the most prone to not being healthy, because they're sitting at a desk all day, they're typing on some keyboard, and they're not getting exercise. And man, you got to get exercise, guys. I'm telling you, even if you just walk, go for a walk. Anybody can walk. Walk is free. And if you don't have a place outside, walk around your house. Do something. I do like floor exercises. I do push-ups. I do pull-ups. I do dips. I do my bike. I do a lot of those things, sit-ups and all those things. But I do those things because I know I won't feel good if I don't. Okay, I just won't feel good. And I know I'll end up getting sick. Okay, so I don't want to get sick. So you got to exercise. Make sure you do that. The Couples of Books that is the best books in marketing. Oh wow! I'm looking at my stack of books up there now because I got a lot of books up there. Ooh, I like the one on webinars, Jason Fladlin's One to Many. If you're doing webinars, I like Ogilvy on advertising. Ogilvy on advertising, and he's a guy who did print advertising, and I want to say in the 40s and 50s. I like his book a lot. I like Traffic Secrets. I like Expert Secrets. Those are both by Russell Brunson. There's so many of them out there, man. Never Split the Difference is a really good one on negotiation. And digital marketing is everything. It's in other words, you need to know how to do sales pages. You need to know how to sell. You need to know how to market. You need to know how to write stuff. You need to know how to use the English language. I have one that is Words That Sell. That's a really good one, Words That Sell. And it's just a book of phrases that you can use in your ad copy. You just thumb through and find the kind of phrases you need. There's so many really good ones out there. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I've been about 30 minutes now, and I know the first few minutes it didn't work. You had no sound. I apologize for that, but I did go over the same thing that I talked about in that first few minutes, so everybody should have gotten that, so you should be good there. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Don't forget, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe, make sure you ring the bell, make sure you give me a thumbs up, and share this video. If you think it's going to help somebody out, share the video. This is day 3. Tomorrow will be day 4. I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Be here, bring some questions, anything you want to know about marketing online. As long as I've done it and I've gotten success at it, I'm going to share it with you. If I haven't done it, like, some people will ask me about, say, Instagram or something like that. I don't know anything about it. So, I'm not going to try to tell you what to do there because I don't know myself. But the things I do know about, the things I have made money on, that's what I'm going to share with you on these daily vlogs. If you like these, put a comment in there that you like them. Let me know that. If I don't get the feedback, I'm not going to keep doing them. But if I do get the feedback, I will certainly keep doing them. So make sure you put that in that chat section there. Thank you for everybody who showed up today. Don't forget to share this, like it, subscribe, and turn on notifications. I'll see you guys.